This time on the Power Shift, I am remaking the turbo kit on the Dart. Headers, downpipes, turbo mounting because I'm moving the turbos to a different location, new cold side and new exhaust system. There is 12 days. I have 12 days until drag week, till I have to leave for drag week. And then in this episode, I'm going to build a new turbo kit. This header is 2-inch primary, the old ones are 1.75 inches. So there's a huge mismatch here that the head is actually way out here, over 1/4 inch of margin there, and it's at the top of the port, which is where you definitely don't want to restrict it. This causes the header gasket to push out on these, especially these two ports, but it pushes out everywhere. It does it on the ends, does it on both headers, but about every 7 runs I have to replace the header gaskets, which tells me that I have a restriction in the exhaust. You can see that the new flange mates up with the cylinder head very nicely. I'm about 2 hours into this deal. Mounted the collector and I went through a few different versions of routing, but ended up with this. Now I'm getting into cutting all the different pieces and making the header hole. Once it's all tacked together, then I can take all these Legos, because I'm just about out of Legos. We can move over to this side and you'll notice it has different valve covers on it now. These valve covers actually stopped working. There's a tiny little ledge on the insides of where it's bolted down, and those ledges are worn away, and it allows the valve covers to leak profusely. I am now making the move to these really nice Moroso valve covers. They're really massive. Once the headers are made, man, life is good. So I'm hoping to have, on the next 2 days before I have to go back to work, I'm hoping to have these headers at least all tacked up. And if they're all tacked up, that really is the hardest part, and I'm looking real good for drag week. So day 2, and I've got the headers all mocked up. They do need a couple of final tacks, like because you'd have to pull the collector off to get the tube back in, but they all need to come apart and get the final welding done. Plug access, header bolts, valve covers, all that's excellent. The only thing that I might need to rethink, driver's side is perfect. Like, I don't have to do anything about the ignition. The passenger side, it's a little cozy between the coils in this header tube. And that header tube, it's not in its final place. It goes up here, but still, it's pretty tight against the inner fender. Good for baked paint, but my new valve covers fit, which is awesome because these are so much nicer than the cheap Chinese ones, although I think these are Chinese too. But these are made by Moroso at least. They look pretty good. So for 2 days of work, this is more than I had hoped for. I had hoped to have them in the Lego stage. I used the Legos on this side. This side I just did it on my own, which, you know, I might have made him a little bit different had I used the Legos. Now that I think about it, I might have put this, I might have put this tube down here and this tube up here. That would have been way cooler. Yeah, I might redo it. I don't think so. I don't have time. I might redo it some other time. I'm going to put W8s on it anyways. These headers won't be on here for long. Sunday morning, It is a little over a week before I have to leave for Drag Week. Yesterday I spent most of the day remaking this header because I wasn't happy with the way it turned out. But now I'm happy, and minimal joints to weld. Then I'm going to come here and do some welding. I have hopefully get all this welded up today, get the turbos mounted. They're kind of going to go somewhere around there by the end of today, welded, ready to go. And then I'm going to have to drill a hole in the fender here, the inner fender, for the exhaust to exit, and then it's going to come out more than likely right in front of the wheel through the fender, which means I have to cut a hole in the painted fender, which is going to be really fun. Morning, it is Wednesday. I leave exactly 1 week from today. Next Wednesday we leave. I'm getting there. It's just slow moving. I'm trying to get, I was trying to tack all this up when the welder decided to stop flowing gas. And so now I need to, I actually went and borrowed from my buddy, brand new Dynasty 400. Okay, we officially have 2 days left before I have to leave for Drag Week. I actually have to work Monday and Tuesday, so it is Saturday morning. And stayed up till about 1 last night. Got a little bit done. Headers are fully welded. They're on the car, hopefully for the last time. And wastegates are mounted. I just need to make that pipe, and then I can fully weld the exhaust pipes. This one ended up being too close to the exhaust. It clears, but not by a whole lot. I have a lot more to do. I have to mount the catch can for the oil. I have to weld the bungs to the valve covers. I have to mount the boost controller. I have to take apart my wastegates because the last pass I had a drop in boost mid-pass, and I thought maybe I got into a boost cut or something like that. Doing a little investigation, and I found that the computer was filling the boost, the dome, when it dropped. It wasn't meeting its target, but it was meeting its target dome pressure, which means that the dome sensors on the passenger side here, also, you know, the dome sensor was actually reading pressure, which means that the CO2 is good. So more than likely, this wastegate might have a bad diaphragm, or I had a bad connection or a bad hose on this side, the dome side, and that leak created a problem, and probably that wastegate opened, which meant that I was running on one side of the turbo. One turbo was doing all the work. And that produced about 16 pounds instead of 27. Today was kind of a rough day. All I did was, you know, mount flanges on the down pipes, O2 bungs, and then made these two wastegate pipes that go to here from the wastegate. So I kind of backed myself into a corner. Now I have to do all the cold side plumbing, and it's probably around 9 o'clock in the evening, and a friend of mine's coming over to help with the fabrication of the cold plumbing. It is, I think I have 36 hours before we leave for Drag Week, and I'm just finally starting to put the car back together. I had to take the fender off to get to this tube to cut it and weld it. Everything's all welded. The valve covers are welded. I had to modify this valve cover. Right here it touched the header, so I had to cut a piece out and then push it all together and weld it all up to make that clear that one header tube, this one. Anyways, now I'm starting to do final assembly of the turbos, get them gasketed and get the exhaust on, and then get all the intercooler piping on. And I still have a long way to go. Still got to put the valve covers on. And but I got plugs changed, got the plug wires on, got the valve covers modified. I'm going to go ahead and put those on here in a few minutes. I'm going to get all the hot side all finished up, get all the cold side all finished up, get the cooling system all buttoned up. Essentially just make the car ready to run. And then once that's done, I'll hang the fender and do a lot of cleaning. And then I'm going to fab up a quick and dirty inlet tube for the turbos so they don't ingest radiator air. And then that is a wrap on the car. I should be pretty much close to done tonight. I still have to mount my oil filter again because I had to move it because of the exhaust. It's 10:30 right now. I'm probably going to work till, I don't know, 2 or 3 tonight and try to wrap this thing up. So tomorrow I can concentrate on the Drag Week trailer and the motor. Yeah, it's ugly. Today we're leaving. It's Wednesday. I have been putting in some very late nights. Here's my cheesy roof rack for the trailer to hold the hood. And I still have to weld that completely. The car is together. I ran it last night just for a few minutes, and it seems to be functioning. And so this morning I have a lot to do. I have to wash the car. I have to weld this roof rack. I have to mount it to that trailer. I have to do one last thing. I'm going to put door struts on this door because it's still just on its own. But this side has some struts that hold it up, which take advantage because the hood will be up here and the doors won't hit it, which is the whole reason for all that. I still have to clean out the trailer. I'm going to load my tools into these tool rolls so I don't have this big bulky toolbox, which is probably not the best idea, but it does make it easier to move stuff around. And then the trailer will be pretty much done. I'm going to add a few rivets here. And, each year I try to do a little something to make the trailer better. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Okay, circle on your way a little bit. That's it for this video. Thanks for checking it out, and be sure to come back next week as we bring you Drag Week. Also, remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you can check out our videos when they get published. Thanks for watching.